Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. I asked you guys earlier this week over on Instagram what kind of products you wanted to see me use on my channel, and I took all of your requests. I gathered those products and we're going to be doing a full face. Some of these things are brand new, like you wanted to see me try out some new e.l.f. products like this setting spray. I also have the new e.l.f. Lash Extender Mascara and the bronzing drops were suggested. And then there's a bunch of other things that you wanted to see back on my channel. So let's just get right into it. We're going to start off with complexion today. Someone said they wanted me to use the Supergoop Protectant Daily SPF Tint. And then like I mentioned before, the bronzing drops. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I do the bronzing drops first and then we apply the skin tint. At least that seems like the best idea in my mind. The e.l.f. bronzing drops launched in 3 shades. It's $12. I'm going to be using the lightest shade called Rose Gold. I feel like everyone's doing bronzing drops. And to be honest, like I haven't really gotten into the bronzing drop world. Like I own a lot and I get sent a lot in PR. This is a really nice color though, I will say. But it's just not something that I personally use often as a daily part of my routine. Even though like I've had like the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops for a long time now, and there's so many more now, but it's just kind of an interesting product to me. I think it's kind of meant to be mixed into things, but I'm just going to use it kind of as a little bronzing tint underneath the Supergoop. A little goes a long way. I feel like that's plenty for me. If somebody out there is like bronzing drop obsessed, will you comment and tell me how exactly you use this? Because maybe I'm just not using it correctly, or maybe there's just a better way to use these types of products. Let me know in the comments, help me out. All right, I'm gonna go into the Supergoop Protectant Daily SPF Tint. I have worn this a couple of times and I really do like it so far. I got mine in the shade 14N. I think the packaging is so cute on this. All right, I'm going to apply that with a brush, although I'm sure you could definitely apply it with your hand since it's like pretty sheer. I'm just going to apply that right on top of where we applied the bronzing drops and focusing it on the cheeks and then bringing what's left across the center of the face. Now this skin tint has SPF in it. It's SPF 30, but it is a chemical sunscreen. So just wanted to point that out. If you're sensitive, I typically am sensitive or more sensitive to chemical sunscreens. However, Supergoop, I feel like their products work really well for my skin, so that's why I bought this initially, because I just wanted like the tint. I'd heard some really good things about it, and it really is such a pretty product. It kind of leaves a bit more of a dewy finish, but it's not like glowy. It's not sparkly. It just has a really nice, healthy glow. So now I'm just pressing that into the skin with my sponge. Now we're going to actually go into a contour. One of you suggested that I use the Ciele bronzer or their sculpting stick, which I was excited to see because I've been wanting to try this as well. They sent this over to me a while ago. I just haven't had a chance to try it yet. I really want to. Ciele's becoming one of my favorite brands already. It's a brand new brand. Brand new brand. I'm saying that word a lot, but it's new. And everything has SPF, but it's like mineral SPF, which is what I love. So here it is, the Ciele Sculpt and Protect SPF 30 Sculpting Stick. The thing I'm most excited about this is actually like the size of it. They were talking about how they like created the perfect size. It's not too big or too small for sculpting the face. So I'm gonna try to apply it directly since I'm intrigued by the applicator. I realized I probably should open up the brush they sent with it. This is their double-ended Sculpt brush, which has a side for cream and a side for powder. This is the cream side. We're gonna use this. Okay, this actually blends better than I was anticipating. When I first like put it on, it had a little bit more of like a thick texture, or it kind of like tugged at my skin a little, so I thought that it would be more of a clay feeling texture upon blending it out, but it's actually really, really smooth. Like that really blended out beautifully. And I just love how there's added SPF in here. It just makes it nice, you know? Especially that it's mineral. I just love that. I'm just gonna kind of run this down the sides of the nose as well. Okay, that's really pretty. I'm excited about that, and I feel like the brush worked really well with that as well. We're gonna go into concealer. I've been dying to try this, and one of you said to try out this concealer, so here we are. This is the Fenty Beauty Wear Even concealer. I've heard such good things about this. They sent this over to me a while ago, and they sent me 3 shades. Let's see. I'm kind of leaning toward this color. This is 125C. Let's give this a whirl. All I know is it's supposed to be really hydrating. Did you see that they're launching a new foundation? Okay, I should show you how cool is this applicator. It's pretty angled, but I actually love that for reaching into like this area here. I I've never had a concealer brush quite like that. It's actually very intuitive. We're gonna kind of reverse contour with a little concealer here. Okay, let's blend this out. The first thing I'm noticing is how lightweight this feels. It's really easy to blend as well. Okay, once I've kind of placed that where I wanted it with a brush, I'm going over everything with my sponge. Oh wow, that looks really nice. It's got a bit of a glow to it as well. I can see why I've been hearing such good things. I'm actually really surprised at how lightweight it feels. I don't know why I'm surprised, but I was kind of picturing a little bit of like a thicker texture with this for some reason. Almost like picturing a NARS Radiant Creamy or something, but it's much lighter than that. It feels really nice on the skin. Okay, I have two powders that were suggested to me, so I'm going to use both actually. The first one is the Laura Mercier Translucent Blur Powder. It's actually been a while since I've used this, and it's a beautiful powder. The other is the Givenchy Prisme Libre Powder. So many of my friends that I was with in Austin recently love this powder, and I've had it for a long time. I've used it for a long time, but it's never like stuck into my routine the way the Huda Beauty one has. So, you know, I kind of observed everybody and asked a few questions to see if I was maybe using it wrong, and so I wanted to revisit that. That was a long-winded way of saying we're gonna use that powder too. But we're gonna start off with the Laura Mercier Blur Powder. Actually, I'm changing my mind. We're gonna start with the Givenchy one and then layer the blurring one over top of that. So what I think I've been doing wrong with this is kind of like applying it the way I would the Huda Beauty, and I think maybe I'm applying too much. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and swirl it on my BK Beauty Nikki LaRose N14 brush, and I'm gonna like kind of tap the excess off. I think I just need to use a little less, I don't know. So I'm just gonna tap away any creasing under the eyes, and let's go in with this right underneath the eyes. Everyone seems to really enjoy it around the eye area specifically, so that's what I wanted to attempt again as well. It really is such a beautiful powder, and I think I truly was just using too much. Because I feel like with the Huda Beauty, you can honestly use quite a bit of it and it never goes wrong, where this formula might be better with just a little less. I'm also wondering, even though I feel like this shade is really nice, I also have the lighter shade, this one. This is in the shade 2, Satin Blanc, and I'm just wondering if maybe this is a better shade match for me, because it still has a little bit of that pink in there. So I'm just gonna dust a little bit of that right on top. It really is such a beautiful, barely there type of powder. Okay, I feel like I've just genuinely been using too much of that. So now I'm going to take just a little bit of the Laura Mercier blurring powder, and I'm going to use that to set the outside of the face. I love this powder like in this area here, but I did already apply quite a bit of the Givenchy one, so we're going to use this mainly on the outer portions. Okay, I'm going to quickly fill in my brows. Today I'm going to use my Maybelline brow pen once again. I can't get over it. I just love this brow pen. I'm actually setting the brows now as well, just with the other side of that brow product. All right, for eyeshadow, there were several different eyeshadow palettes that were suggested that I use, but 3 of them are mentioned by a couple people. So then I narrowed it down to 3, and I just barely asked you guys on Instagram which one I should use, and the vote is very tied, so I'm gonna open it and refresh it and see who won. Oh my gosh, okay. 2 of the palettes are tied completely. Well, okay, actually we do have a winner technically. So it was between the Natasha Denona Retro Glam, which as of now, and I should have left this up longer, but here we are. This had 256 votes for this. Then we have Anastasia Beverly Hills Cosmos at 271, and then Pat McGrath Divine Rose at 267. So just a few votes off between these 2, but as of now, Cosmos is the winner, so that's the one we're gonna use. I think this is a beautiful palette for spring, so I'm really excited to use this one actually again as well. All right, we're gonna start off with Space Dust as our transition shade. And it's been so long since I've used this that I am really leaning toward this shade again. I feel like I've used that shade a few times on my channel when I use this palette, but it's been a while since I've used this palette, since it feels very springy and summery to me, and I am craving a little bit of that blue super cluster color. I'm just going along the lower lash line with that same Space Dust shade, just to kind of like really smoke things out a little bit. This is a fabulous color to start any look with. This palette. Let's dip into the shade Comet right here, just to add a little bit of depth to the outside of the eyelid. I'm taking that same color, Comet, on a bit of a more detailed brush, and running that along the lower lash line as well. And then let's take a little bit of Eclipse, which is kind of this pretty brown purple. And I'm just going to put a bit of that right up against the outer corner of the lash line, just for a little extra depth. All right, now that we've got that going on, honestly, we could pick any of these shimmers to pair on top, but something about Super Cluster is honestly calling my name. Or also this color is so pretty, but I'm just gonna, well, no, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna take Super Cluster. It's the coolest shade in the palette, I feel. And we're gonna start popping that onto the eyelid, focusing on this inner portion. And then as we get closer to the center, there should be a little less product on your finger. So it should kind of create like a little bit of a gradient across the lid. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Same thing on this side. It has the coolest like blue-green shift. It's so pretty. I'm actually layering up just a little more of that on the lid because it's just such a beautiful shade. I really want it to be the main part of this look. Ah, so pretty. Okay, now we're gonna pop on mascara, and one of you recommended that I try the e.l.f. Lash Extender Mascara. I don't know if this is supposed to be a dupe for the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara, but it kind of has a similar vibe, so let's see how this goes. Let's start by applying it to the top lashes on this eye. Okay, it's definitely separating my lashes. I feel like it's not giving as much volume as my Thrive one if we're comparing. I don't know if this is a tubing mascara or not. It kind of feels like one. It's definitely very smooth and it's not very clumpy either. Okay, that's after building it up quite a bit. Let's apply some to this lower lash line. Okay, here's the before and the after. What do you guys think? I feel like it gives very separated, lifted lashes. It has quite a strong smell. Oh my goodness. Like, I haven't smelled a mascara that strong in forever. I'm really liking how it's building up on itself. It looks very pretty. This honestly seems like a very great everyday mascara for a lot of people. I built it up a little more because I have more on the eyes today, but if I just did like 1 or 2 coats, it'd be the perfect like soft everyday lash look. I like that. Obviously we need to see how it wears, and sometimes mascara formulas can change over time, so I'll keep you posted on how it wears today. But based off my first impressions, I really like how that went on. I feel like it's definitely gonna work better for me anyway for like an everyday look, not necessarily like more of an eyeshadow look, even though I feel like I built it up fine and it looks good. Yeah, so far so good. Okay, we're gonna take a little bit of blush. Someone suggested that I use the Persona powder blushes, and it's been a long time. These are the Super Blushes, and I haven't used the shade Georgia in forever, and honestly, this is a pretty shade to go with this eye look. So let's take this and apply this to the apples of the cheeks. That's so pretty. I feel like I always end up using Carmel, which is like the mauve color, but this shade is so nice. I really love that. All right, a couple of you actually suggested that I try out the new Natasha Denona Hygiene Skincare Infused Glow Beautifier. That's a mouthful. I just barely got these in PR, so it was perfect timing. This is the shade Light. Basically, it's like a skincare infused highlight. I don't know. Really interesting texture. I'm not even really sure how to apply this. Maybe just with my fingertips? I don't really know if you're supposed to use a brush or what. Okay, I'm just gonna go in, I already have anyway, with my fingertips. It's pretty metallic. I was expecting these to almost be a little more creamy, like almost like a cream highlight and less pearly. It's really pretty. It's just like not quite what I expected. You know what I do want to try is her new powder foundations. Those look amazing. Okay, I don't know if I'm like breaking out and I have texture right here because the last couple highlighters that I've applied, I like have not liked how they looked, but maybe it's because I've got texture. I don't know. Okay. I definitely think this is pretty. It's a lot more intense than what I was picturing, at least for like a skincare infused highlighter. I thought it would be a little more like balmy. I don't know what I was expecting. Really pretty, but definitely packs more of a punch than I anticipated. So if you like more of like a super glowy highlighter, you might really enjoy this, but it's very reflective. It's not like a chunky glitter, but you definitely see quite a bit of like glimmer in there. I don't want to say glitter, but yeah, okay, interesting. If you get a chance to swatch these in stores, you'll see what I mean, and I would recommend actually doing that in case you were like me and you were expecting like a little bit more of a balmy texture. It's not. It's really interesting. Feels nice. It's luxe, and the packaging is nice too. But I definitely think it's going to be for a certain type of person. All right, next we're going to do lips. One of you actually suggested that I show you lip liners that will go great with effortless lips. which are my lipsticks from my brand Revie Beauty. There's 3 shades at the moment, wink wink. But these are basically like my dream everyday lip formula, and I love that you guys have been enjoying them as much as I do. Honestly, you can really pair these with any lip liner that you like. It's such a forgiving formula, but I'll give you a couple of suggestions for what I like with each one. So for Lily, which is the lightest, I love pairing it with this lip liner, and I'll show you. This is NYX Nude Beige. I just think that it goes really, really well. It's a little bit more beige, where you'll see Lily's more of that pink, but I think it goes really well together to kind of add a bit of structure and shape, and then have that as the middle. And then for Dahlia, I've noticed that Urban Decay Liar is a really great color, or I find myself reaching for Maybelline Gone Greige, which is a little bit more of a cool tone. Well, they're pretty close. No, it is. So Gone Greige is more cool toned, but I love either of those with Dahlia, which I will swatch next to it. Dahlia's got that a little bit of a mauve-y undertone to it, so I really love pairing that with either of those. And then actually for the shade Tulip, you can apply it with, you know, a brighter pink if you want to, but I often find myself using MAC Stone, which is like more of a brown. And there it is right there. I don't use that much. I'll just kind of sculpt out the lips and like blend it out a bit and then pair it with Tulip. It creates a little bit more of a sculpted shape. Again, you can totally use a brighter color with Tulip. That's just kind of what I like to do. Honestly, it would look really pretty with either of these over here as well, if you wanted more of like a full pink lip. Or I feel like Tulip doesn't always need a lip liner, to be honest. Like you can just throw it on and it just gives that fresh pop of color to the lips. So none of them need a lip liner, but they work really well with lip liners if you want to create something more custom. So those are my suggestions. Based off of my suggestions and based off of this look, I'm gonna go with the combo with Lily. I feel like this look is a very Lily look. So we're gonna take NYX Nude Beige and we're gonna line the lips with this, just to create a little bit of dimension and shape. And next I'm going to take Revie Beauty Effortless Lips in the shade Lily, which is that gorgeous kind of peachy pink nude. You can see how nice that pairs with it. This gives a really gorgeous glow to the lips, but somebody did want me to use the Maybelline Lifter Gloss, specifically in the shade Moon, so I figured I would pop a little bit of that on top of this, and we'll focus that in like the center of the lips, just for a little more glow. What a gorgeous little combo. I love it. Okay, let's assess the situation really quick. I honestly feel like everything looks the way I want it to. One of you suggested that I try out the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. Look how cool this is. It has like a little bit of a separation here, so you're supposed to like mix it up before you apply it. But it's a bi-phase setting spray with aloe and hyaluronic acid, and it's supposed to grip the makeup onto the skin and be dewy. So let's give this a go. I'm gonna make sure to shake it up quite a bit. Oh my gosh, the mist on this is perfection. It's so beautiful. Sorry, it's like thunderstorming outside. Oh my gosh. It literally, you can't even see it. That's how fine it is. Oh, phenomenal. Love that. All right, I'm going to press that into the skin, and it does seem to have added a little bit more glow. I feel like my skin was already looking pretty glowy from all the products we used today. Taking what's left on the Nikki LaRose brush, which is what I used for the Givenchy powder, I'm just tapping a little bit of what's left of that in the T-zone, just because I don't want this area here to be super dewy. I don't mind the rest of the face though, so keep it focused to that area. All right, my friends, that's it. This is the final look using the things that you wanted to see me use on my channel, and I love how this look turned out. It's very springtime with that blue sparkly eyeshadow, but still very fresh. I would feel comfortable wearing this during the daytime. I feel like it's still very lightweight looking. It also would work great as like more of a evening spring date night look, whatever floats your boat, to be honest. I really enjoyed trying some new things along with reusing some things that I haven't used in a while. So thank you for helping me on this video. I really enjoyed playing with all these products. I will definitely get back to you guys on how some of these newer products are working for me. So far, I really do like a lot of what's going on, especially like the mascara. I'm really excited to see how that wears. What do you guys think of this look? Is there anything that you have picked up that you're really loving or maybe not loving as much? Let me know in the comments. So far, so good, I feel like, based off my first impressions. The concealer looks really great. I loved the mist on this e.l.f. setting spray. We'll have to see how it works, you know, if I really notice a difference or not. Like I said, the mascara is really great. I do feel like the Natasha Denona highlighter is a little bit more emphasizing, but now that I'm looking at it again, it's kind of melting into the skin a little more. It might just be one of those formulas that takes me a minute to like figure out how exactly I like to wear it. I actually love it in the inner corner though, so that one's more of like a to be determined type of a thing. I really did actually enjoy the Ciele contour stick. I love the shape and size, and the color works really well for me as well. And the brush that came with this, or that they sent, that was designed to use with this, works really well with that formula. So overall, I'm happy with my look today. Everything will be linked down below if you want to check any of these products out. Let me know if you like this style of video, if you'd like to see future videos of you guys basically picking what you want to see me use in a video. I feel like it's really fun that way, to just work with you guys to actually review and try on things that you want to see. So I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you.